students, how are you all? I just hope you all are doing good and taking good care of yourself. So class, today we are going to revise another chapter of your book, social studies book, that is revision of chapter number 3, calendar and timeline. So let's start. So first we will define the terms, define the following terms. First is ascending. What is the meaning of ascending? Ascending means increasing order. The order that increases is called ascending. The number 2 is era. Era means a long period of time. We call a long period of time as era. If we say era, it should be understood that is it is a long period of time. So after that, calendar. What is a calendar and for what purpose it is used? Now calendar is used, you all must have calendars at your home, and they are used to mark the important dates. When we see the dates, important to see the important dates and festivals. For that we use the calendar, and and we can remember them also. And we also plan various activities in our life with the help of a calendar. Okay, then comes the second question. Name the two main types of calendar. Now the two main types of calendars are, number 1 is Gregorian calendar and number 2 is Saka calendar. So Gregorian calendar, it was earlier named as Julian calendar. Till 1582, its name was Julian calendar, and now it is named as Gregorian calendar. And it is used in the mostly in all parts of the world. The most important event in Europe was the birth of Jesus Christ. When Jesus Christ was born, this was the most important event in Europe. And that year was considered as year 1. That was counted as year 1 in the Gregorian calendar. It's a solar calendar and it has 365 or 366 days in a year. And the year begin with January. Like we all count the year with from the month of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. So these are what the calendar that we have today at our home is known as Gregorian calendar. Okay, it is a solar calendar and it is 365 or 366 days. You know why 366? When the leap year added. Leap year it comes after every 4 years. Okay. And after that comes Saka calendar. Now this is also an important calendar and it is also used in India. And just like the Gregorian calendar, the Saka calendar is also a solar calendar. And Gregorian calendar, Saka calendar also have 12 months. But the first month of Saka calendar is Chaitra. Okay. And what are the other months? I am reading Chaitra. Then is Vaishak, Jyesht, Ashad, Shravan, Bhadrapad, Ashwin, Kartik, Margashirsha, Posh, Magh and Falgun. These are the 12 months of Saka calendar. And the Saka calendar is 78 years behind the Gregorian calendar. Means if if it is year 2021, the 2021, if will less 2020, it will minus 78 from 2021, the year that will come out, it will the Saka, it would be in the Saka calendar. Okay. Then comes question number 3. What is a timeline? Now what is a timeline? Timeline is a scale or tool. It's a scale or a tool that puts, and in that scale or in that tool that puts all the dates and events. Okay, all the dates are mentioned there, and under that events are also mentioned in a line and in a right order. Okay, in the the event that is happening in according to that event and the date that they are put. Okay, this is called a timeline. So after that The time or dates are placed in order from the earliest to the latest, means from the beginning to the latest one. And the process of putting these events in a proper order, like when they okay, took place, this keeping in order, the process of putting the order in putting the events in order is called, we call it sequencing or chronological order. After that comes common era and before common era. I told you that the birth of Jesus Christ was considered as year 1. So the year after his birth, so the year that comes after the birth of Jesus Christ, it was like from 1. It starts from 1 and has CE written after that. And CE stands for common era. And the year before the birth of Jesus Christ was is counted backward from 1, okay, and has written BCE after them, and BCE stands for before common era. So these terms came into before the term CE and BCE. When BCE and BCE were not there, before that BC and AD were used, which means BC means before Christ and AD means Anno Domini. Okay, meaning in the year of our Lord. So BCE falls on the left side and CE falls on the right. We write BCE in the left because we start from left, writing from left. So before common era. Okay, so we start from BCE and ends at CE. Now we have done the revision of chapter number 3. Let's revise chapter number 5 now. Motions of the earth. So first of all, we will understand the terms, few terms. Define the following terms. The first term is axis. Axis is what? It is an imaginary line around which a body rotates. And it's an imaginary line. Imaginary means that it is not exactly there, but we just think about it. And we just imagine about that line. Okay. And about that axis a body rotates. Number 2 is orbit. Orbit is a path that is followed by the planet. The planet that moves around the sun, and through which path they move, that path is known as orbit. After that comes next, see, elliptical. Elliptical means oval shape. Okay, oval shape, like elliptical shape, you must have seen an egg. The shape of the egg is oval, so that is oval shape, elliptical, like this. This is an elliptical shape. Now next question is question number 2. Name the 2 major motions of the earth. The 2 major motions of the earth are, first is rotation and the second is revolution. Now rotation means it is the spinning of the earth on its axis, like a top rotates, that is called rotation. And it always rotates from west to east, okay, and on its tilted axis. You must have seen the axis is always, it is tilted, not straight. It is not straight, always tilted. And to complete one rotation, it takes 24 hours, okay, and also rotates counterclockwise. Counterclockwise means anti-clockwise. And when the earth rotates, it causes day and night. When the earth rotates, it causes day and night. And when the half portion of the sun is faces towards half portion of the earth is faces towards sun, that portion is day, and the rest of the portion that is not facing the earth is night. And just opposite to that, when it rotates, then the back portion comes in front and it experiences day, and this front portion goes back and it experiences night. And it happens every day. And one more thing is there, the imaginary line which separates the dark portion from the lighted one. There is a picture here. There is an imaginary line. This is an imaginary line. It is what it is doing, it is separating the lighted portion and the dark one portion, and this line is known as circle of illumination. Okay, then comes the second motion of the earth, that is revolution. Revolution is what? It is the movement of the earth around the sun. When the earth move around the sun in an elliptical orbit, okay, elliptical shape orbit, it is okay. And it also moves from west to it, like in rotation, and to complete one revolution it takes 365 days. Okay, and the speed of the earth per second is 30 kilometer. In a second it completes it covers the distance of 30 kilometer. This is the speed of the earth to revolve around the sun. Now leap year, the movement of the earth, it never changes, it remains the same, and one revolution takes 365 days and 6 hours. 1 by 4 means 6 hours. So in 4 years, first 6, second 6, third year 6, and fourth year 6. The 6, 6, 6, 6 makes 24 hours, and 24 means hour means 1 day. So 365 days. In after every 4 months, 1 day is added. So after every 4 years there are 366 days. That is a leap year. That is known as leap year. And in leap year, only the day that is added is only in 1 month, that is February. In that year, February has 29 days instead of 28. Then comes next. Third question is, why do seasons occur? Why do seasons occur? Seasons occur due to the revolution of the earth. Like day and night occurs due to rotation of the earth, like that seasons occur due to revolution of the earth. Then fourth is, which two regions on earth experience 6 months long day and night? Okay, which two regions are there? The northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere experience 6 months long day and night. How? Because when the north pole is tilted in summer in northern hemisphere, when the north pole is tilted towards the towards the sun, when this north pole is tilted towards the sun, so only the northern hemisphere is getting more heat and light from the sun. That is why this region will experience summer season, and it will have long day and night. And as opposite to that, when the south pole is tilted towards the sun, then the south pole will get more heat and light from the sun, and south pole will experience southern hemisphere will experience summer season, and with long nights, for long days and short nights. Okay, here when the south pole is tilted from away from the sun, when the south pole northern pole is tilted towards the sun and the south pole is away from the sun. So here in this south pole, we are talking about summer in northern hemisphere. In that time here, this south pole will experience winter season, and it will receive less heat and light. Okay, and the days will be short and the night will be long. And north polar region, has continuous days, and south polar region has night for almost 6 months. And opposite to that, summer in southern hemisphere, I told you southern hemisphere is towards the sun. So here northern hemisphere is away from the sun. So in the northern hemisphere, it will experience night. Okay, and it experiences summer. The southern polar region has continuous daylight for almost 6 months, whereas the north polar region has long night for almost 6 months. It will experience almost from the month of October to February in the southern hemisphere. Now spring and autumn season. Spring and autumn, one thing is there, spring and autumn months are March and September, and when the sun is directly over the head. Okay, and both the hemisphere get almost equal amount of heat and light that time. Now 21st March and 21st September, these are the days when the sun is directly over the head, and on the equator, and the whole earth has equal day and equal night. These days are called equinoxes. And the northern hemisphere has the longest day on 21st June and shortest day on 22nd December, and they are called summer solstice in 21st June and winter solstice on 22nd December. Okay, so today we have completed the revision of chapter number 3 and chapter number 5. So you all have to do these work in your notebook under the heading revision of chapter number 3 first, then chapter number 5. So that's all for today.